think we're live. We are
I can
live.
never tell. I just sit here with a smile on my face and wait to get told, start talking.
Start talking now. All right, I'm just going to check Facebook really quickly just to make sure that we are live and we're coming through. Yeah, there we are. We're on
See,
Facebook.
I learned to keep my mouth shut until I'm told, because I think the last time we were talking about inappropriate things and we went live.
We were talking about hair and makeup, and all of a sudden we're live.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's perfect. So Marianne is here from Australia. She put a comment in. So if you're here joining us, please say hello and post it in the comment where you are joining us from. We can see your comments. Anita, can you see the comments?
I can't yet.
So it's over to the right.
Yes, I see a comment box, but let me click where it says comments. That would help. There we go.
Oh, another great hair talk. That's perfect.
You see? Yeah, we had.
Oh, and Rabbi Tamara is here, and Pak Pak, and Teresa, and Karina, and Fie Noel, and Maureen, and Tammy. This is great. This is
Lots of lovely people.
So before we get started on our conversation, and I've been starting all of our Facebook Live and YouTube conversations with just a little moment of silence and stillness. So if we could all just place our hands on our hearts for a moment, take a deep breath, let it out. And one more deep breath and release. And what I'd like us each to do is just, however you pray, whatever you ascribe to, be it God, universe, angels, whatever greater being that you ascribe to, please let's tune into that for a moment. And let's just send some extra love and prayers to everyone all around the world that is currently challenged. We know that we've got some challenges around the globe right now. And just sending peace to all those who are suffering, sending peace to all those who feel the need to hurt other people, and see them just dissolving into a place of love. Just see everyone just dissolving into their hearts, into love, into peace, into kindness for humanity, into releasing any ego ideas that we might have about other people, and just holding the intention of absolute pure love and peace. And hold that for a moment. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for taking that moment with me and the fabulous Anita Moorjani. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, the New York Times bestselling author of Dying to Be Me, Anita Moorjani. Oh, the other way. There we are, Anita Moorjani.
Yes, you're right. And I am with the fabulous Elizabeth Dawn, the producer of Celebrate Your Life events.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So it's a pleasure to be here today. And I see Ruth and Jane and Kiersey and Lisa and Rachel and Maureen. It's wonderful to have you all join us from all over the world. And today we are going to talk to Anita about staying heart-centered during turbulent times. I know that many of you have been through challenges in your life, and sometimes it's hard to get back to our centers. Yeah. Like, how do we say, and I've known you for a really long time, Anita, and I feel sometimes like nothing phases you. Like you are able just to drop into that beautiful place of peace and divinity. And so I'd love for you to share with us about your experience with that and how you kind of stay centered.
Sure, I'd be happy to share that. But first of all, I want to say that Yeah, I've done a good job of portraying this persona of nothing phases me. So I'm happy to hear that, because I do get phased sometimes. I have had in the past, I went through a phase where I was getting a lot of anxiety and panic attacks, and I had to work through all that, because we're human in this human form, in this world, dealing with all kinds of things. And I went through a phase of being completely burned out just from living in this world, and couldn't handle it. And so I had to regroup and reinvent myself, should I say. But what it is that keeps me going, and this is the part I really want to share with you, what keeps me going and allows me to stay centered is that I always take myself back to where I went when I had my near-death experience. Now, you don't have to have an NDE, a near-death experience, to practice this. And this is why I share what I share. I share it so that you don't have to go through what I went through. But one of the things that happens when you're aware of what happens when we die is that when you die, you not only lose your physical body, but you lose your race, your religion, your culture, your gender, your biology. You lose all of that. And what crosses over is just pure love, pure consciousness, pure God. Like, you can call it what you want, but it is just so pure. And this is the case for all of us. This is what crosses over. And this is when we are in this state of clarity, where we understand why we did what we did. We understand what took us to this point in our lives. We can just see, oh my gosh, I did this and I shouldn't have done this. And so whenever people ask me, what are your views on whatever's happening, whatever is currently happening, of course, now we have this whole situation that we're talking about in the Middle East, but there's always something, even when people ask me in terms of a political situation here in the United States, like, when we're going through election time, and people are always asking me, so what do you think? What do you think? Or even when we were in COVID and people were divisive about which way to go, the one thing that always comes to mind is that when we take sides, and when we say, oh, you're part of the problem, you're part of the problem, and people do that and they become angry and they take sides. The one thing I always like to remind people is that when you die, there are no sides. There are no sides. Our soul, so when we cross over, literally, whether you are on the left, on the right, whether you are whatever religion,
Jewish,
whether you
or Muslim or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, whether you're male, female, transgender, gay, straight, we all, at the end of our lives, cross over as pure essence, pure souls. And the questions that really matter is, did you love enough? Did you feel loved? Did you connect enough? Were you lonely? Did you reach out enough? So when we go through all these things that we have been going through, like let's take the last few years when people were isolated and everything, and people were fighting and angry and divisive because certain people believed certain things about COVID while others believed other things. At the end, it's not whether you got vaxxed or not vaxxed that matters. At the end, it's not whether you're on the left or the right that matters, or whether you watch Fox or CNN that matters. What really matters is, did you try to connect and love? Did you show empathy? Were you kind? Or were you just angry at everyone who didn't think the way you did? That's what counts at the end. Much more so, and so here we are fighting over things that are not going to matter when we die.
Anita for president of the world. How's that, everyone? Anita's going to be president of the world. Don't you think that's an appropriate thing for her? Yes?
You're so funny. Do you know that is probably the hardest job on the planet? Because think of how much criticism the president. I actually once thought about this, that whoever gets elected as president, whoever, no matter how kind they are or how ruthless they are, they get so much flack and so much criticism.
I couldn't handle it.
I couldn't handle it
I couldn't
either.
handle the criticism. It's like,
Yeah.
stop. I mean, they criticize what you wear and what you're, especially the women. Like,
Yes.
poor Michelle Obama could never wear anything.
I know.
Poor woman got criticized for her hair and for her dresses or whatever it was. You know, it's so ludicrous. But what you just shared was really, it was so beautiful because it's really the essence of truth. Is this any of this going to matter? Is any of this going to matter? Like,
And
when
you know,
how much did you, you know, just, you know, this has been on, you know, my mind and in my heart, you know, because I am a Jewish woman and everything that's been happening. And it's not just about the politics of Israel and what's going on in Gaza. It's about, as a result of that,
yes,
people around the country are now coming out screaming, you know, hatred towards my people, towards Jewish people. Well, here's the question. Here's the question. What do I have to do with Israel? What do
yeah,
I have to do? Seriously. Like, if you think about it, you know, people who are American Jews, I am American first and foremost. And yes, I am a Jewish woman. However, it just doesn't, the hatred doesn't make sense to me. But the way you have melted, I think, all of our hearts, everyone listening, that it doesn't make a difference.
when you die, it doesn't.
It doesn't make a difference.
And we're not talking about what's really important, because what we're doing now is we're forcing people to take sides. We're actually
Yes.
forcing, and we're spreading the divisiveness
Yes.
by constantly forcing people to take sides.
Mm.
But what's not being talked about is what actually matters. What are you going to take with you at the end of life? What is this, you know, like all of this is being done, all of this killing, and all to what end? And what really matters on the other side, which is the love, the connection. We're all actually connected. And this is the part that always gets me, is that I know when I was on the other side, I connected to every single soul, because our consciousness has no boundaries. Our boundaries are only here when we're in the physical body, but on the other side, our consciousness has no boundaries. We're all connected to source. And so
Wait a second. Someone has to write that down, please, and put it in the comments. Our consciousness has no boundaries. We are all connected to source.
yes.
Anita Moorjani. I'm making a meme of that one.
Oh, I love that. You do.
Abby, if you're listening, that's a really good meme.
Yeah. And
Abby is
so,
Anita's assistant.
and when we think that we are attacking, killing, destroying other people, we're actually attacking, killing, and destroying a piece of ourself as a whole. If you think of every single human being on this earth, and this earth is a living organism, and every human being is one cell of this organism, which is what I always say, then we are attacking ourselves. And so those who are all for divisiveness and war, it's like cancer cells just spreading. But we have to spread the love, which is the healthy cells. Cancer is when the unhealthy cells spread faster than the healthy cells. So what I want to do is I want to invite you all to spread the love, spread the healthy cells, teach people or have the conversations that will really matter when we cross over. Don't spread the ones that don't matter when we cross over. Don't spread the things we're going to regret when we cross over.
I love that. Conversations that matter. And for those of you that are loving this conversation, Anita, I think you wanted to share something. If you love this kind of conversation, conversations that matters, we have more of this for you.
Oh, I'm super excited about what's coming up, Liz. And I'm so grateful to you for organizing this and making this happen for us. So from January 26th to 29, I will be speaking at a beautiful event in Scottsdale, Arizona, together with my wonderful peers, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, and Shamini Jain, where we are going to be talking about topics like this, about the soul, about the spirit, about evolution, and about how we can prevent ourselves from coming to the brink of our own extinction, and how compassion, empathy, kindness will be needed in bushels and buckets full to evolve and to see the world that we really want to live in. We will be talking about this and so many other things. And, you know, Bruce, Greg, Shamini, they're all brilliant speakers with brilliant minds. I am so excited about this event. And I can't wait to be there, to speak, and to meet an audience live. I am at my element when I have a physical live audience in front of me.
Yes, you are. And I love, because we did something last year that was so beautiful. And you did all these great processes and journeys and took everyone through healing journeys. And just to kind of jump off what Anita just shared, here's the link for it. I put it in the comments. Yep. We're actually live in 8 different places, everyone. We're streaming live on YouTube, on all different Facebook pages. And here's the URL for those of you that are interested in these kinds of conversation, all of you that want to be with Anita in person, and with Greg Braden, and with Bruce Lipton, and with Dr. Shamini Jain. Please come join us. We're going to have a really beautiful experience for 4 days. So the website is right on the screen, and it's also in your chat. So talk a little bit about, like, well, I think we have a question. Hold on one second.
Okay,
I'm going to post it on and you can put questions, by the way, in the chat, and I will bring them up for Anita to answer. But here's a long question. And it was Martins, who's asking, from the perspective of the spiritual world, everything is clearly visible. So why are such souls who are interested in creating conflicts and not in awakening humanity allowed to get into position of power? That's a great, great question.
So that's a great question. And I love that question. I get into my element. I stand on my soapbox when I get questions like that. So I apologize in advance. But it's not that they're allowed. That is a reflection of our own evolution. You know, the fact that we vote these people into power, that is where the problem comes. We put them there, and that tells you the state of our own cultural evolution. So to expand on this a little bit more, I wrote about this in my book, Sensitive is the New Strong. One of the biggest issues is that we ascribe attributes like aggression, ruthlessness, competitiveness, these kinds of, people who go after power, who win at all costs. We attribute these traits to strength. Like we say, if you ask someone, what are the traits of a strong person? They'll say, oh, someone who's extremely assertive, somebody who is competitive, possibly to the point of being ruthless, and so on. We have these certain traits that we attribute to being strengths. And those are the people we vote into powerful leadership positions. And when somebody is kind and calm and filled with empathy and empathic and they're sensitive, we say, oh, they're weak. Oh, big boys don't cry. And, they've got to grow a thicker skin. And, sensitive people finish last, or, like we have all these things where we attribute those traits as weaknesses. Right. Yet it's because we attribute those traits of aggression and competitiveness and ruthlessness as strengths, and we admire them in people. We look up to people who get to positions of power by being ruthless, and we look up to them. and we worship them. We see them as our heroes, and we want to be them, and we vote for them. That's why we have the world we have.
Mic drop. Mic drop. And I was actually just pulling up a quote that someone sent me on my phone. And it says, the way that evil prospers is when good people do and say nothing.
That's a great quote, but I want to say something else to that. The most ruthless among us are the ones with the loudest voices. The empathic, the calm, the sensitive, the kind people need to raise their voices. And we need to also change the parameters of what it means to be strong. We need to start in schools. We need to teach our kids that actually being sensitive, being empathic, being collaborative as opposed to competitive. We need to teach people that these are strengths. These are strengths, and this is what our world needs now.
Yes, 100%. And what I've been doing, because there's been a lot of, drama on social media about what's been going on, is I've been working to respond in an educational way rather than with that, agita hormones of right, like that.
Yes.
I'm really working to respond in an educational way rather than in that big, angry way that I might have done in the past, because I do want to be heard. Right? I do
Yes.
want a voice of compassion, of kindness, of consciousness to be heard, rather than that voice. I think you all know what I'm talking about, right? Like, you've done that, where you've sat down and you write that email, and then you send it off and you go, I should have never sent that email.
Everybody's done that at least once.
Right?
Yeah.
So I believe that our spiritual community, our soul tribe, and all of you who are listening, I know are part of that soul tribe community in your hearts. And I know that we can do it in a way that is compassionate, that is like stops people in your tracks way. Like, oh yeah, none of this is going to matter.
Yeah.
After we transition. Why am I allowing all of this divisiveness to happen right now and here, right?
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
And and another piece to this is, at the end of the day, all of us, we are consciousness, we are energy being expressed through this physical body. But at our energy or consciousness level, as I said, we're all connected. So we can touch other people's energies. We are in touch with them, but we don't realize it. So when we are watching and listening to the news, and when we're getting angry, what we're actually doing when we get angry and we get divided and we make people choose sides and we have these heated discussions of anger and we decide people are our enemies, we are actually adding to the strife and to the angry soup. What we need to do is we need to actually consciously send love. Even to the most atrocious people, we need to send them love, because that's what they need, not more hate or anger.
Let's take a moment and send everyone love. Let's do it. Let's do what we did at the beginning of this conversation. So we've got a couple of questions, and Pak has a question, and she's going through some major health challenges, and she is asking, would you please give her some advice on how to get her health better? Are there things that she could do to get her health better?
So there's a lot of things she can do, but because there's so little information there that she's given me, I've no idea if she's already seeing a doctor and taking meds and so on. And, I don't purport to be a doctor. However, I have got 300 plus videos on my YouTube channel that can help her in so many ways, because very often our health conditions are due to fear and stress, and not living our life's purpose. And all of these things can contribute to having poor health. And so would like to invite her and anyone else to just follow me on YouTube and just check out my YouTube channel, where I speak about things. And one of the videos you can look out for is called The Wellness Trajectory, because a lot of people who get diagnosed with illnesses, they start focusing on the illness and the trajectory of the illness. I invite people to create a wellness trajectory and focus on the trajectory of your wellness, like step by step by step, taking you from where you are now to full wellness.
Perfect. Yay, I love that. So go to YouTube, and in the search, so Pak, this is for you and anyone else, go to YouTube, and in the search, type in Anita Moorjani, go to her channel, make sure you subscribe to it,
Yes.
and go to all of her videos. And I know that you will find the answers with all the wisdom that Anita shares on her YouTube videos. Okay, so we have a question. I'm going to go ahead and show this. This is from Rachel Elizabeth. What is the best advice to raise your vibration during these times when there is so much fear in the collective? Wow. Come to celebrate your life events and the retreat that we are doing. Actually, can I jump in for a second?
Uh-huh.
Being with you, there's nothing like being with your soul community. And that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I see what happens in the space. For those of you who've never been to a Celebrate Your Life event, we create spiritual programs and retreats with some of the greatest spiritual teachers in the world.
Created by the greatest. Wait, this way.
I'm over here. Oh, yeah. And it really does help to be supported, to be around people that raise your vibration. Being around community is absolutely priceless for you to kind of stay out of that drama mindset. Be with high vibe people, be with your community. And so I'm just going to very quickly post the URL again, because we want all of you to come join us for this amazing program that we are doing in January in Scottsdale. So did you want to add anything to that, to Rachel's question?
Yes. So about staying high vibe in turbulent times. So first of all, if you are feeling that your vibe has really dropped because you're being affected by everything that's happening outside, the turbulence that's happening outside, you need to pull yourself away. It's not selfish to pull yourself away and take care of yourself when things are getting too much for you, when things in the world are getting too much. Remember that just by allowing yourself to be usurped by all of it and getting sucked into all of it and becoming drained, you're not helping people by doing that either. The better option is to pull yourself out and then do what it takes for you to actually even almost block out the outside world. I do that sometimes. I have to. And the irony is that the more you can pull yourself away to recharge your batteries and find your tribe, and I cocoon myself only with people who help me to raise my vibe. We raise each other's vibe. I create a cocoon. We talk about things that are really high vibe, like what we're going to do in the world and the events that we're going to do, like this upcoming event in January. And I just talk about things with my little tribe, and they talk about things. Oh, we go dancing. Last night, I actually went dancing. We went salsa dancing with a couple of people. So, yeah. So we create our joy even in the turbulence, and we live in this little bubble. And here's the irony that I was trying to get to. By doing that, I am actually able to help more people. And the way we help people is, one, is we can uplift the people around us. And number two is our energy is contributing to the whole. So if you have to pull yourself away from what three-dimensional, five-sensory humans called reality, then please do so, because there is a whole other reality, and that is the reality that your soul is living, where this is only one small snapshot of the trajectory of your soul's entire path.
Oh, it's beautiful. It was so perfect. So we have a little bit of a tough question. We've
Okay.
got Nita, Neta. Okay, so Nita, you've asked 2 questions. I'm going to choose your first questions, and it might be Netta, I'm not sure. So Netta is in the affected areas of the war. We are sending you so much love.
Yes, we are.
She says, how can she be optimistic? It is absolutely tough. How can I shine my light right now? Oh, and we're sending you so much peace and love and support. Please feel that.
Yeah, that is really a difficult situation you're in, and my heart really goes out to you. And we really would want you to stay safe, you and your family members. And I know that you're right there in the thick of that energy, and that must be really challenging. Um, what I would like to say to you, and I hope this doesn't sound trite or contrived or anything, but I'm just drawing on my experience from the other side. There are no accidents. There's a reason why you're there right now. And even if you don't know the reason, please know that there is a reason, and it will probably become apparent to you much later after it's all over. But in some way, even if it's a small way, but in some way, your presence there is contributing to something. I can already tell by your message that you really do have like a kind heart. You're there, you want to uplift people. That's why you asked that question. Like, you want to stay strong, and you will probably want to stay strong for the people around you. In some way, you are probably already doing more than you think you are, or than you realize. That's what I feel just from your question. And remember, it's no accident that you're there. So thank you for your question, and please stay safe.
And keep holding space, seeing the intention of, I remember
Of a resolution.
yeah, of a resolution. I remember when my mom was here in physical, and there was a conflict going on, and I can't remember what it was. It was something that was happening in the world. And she would do this meditation where she would say, she would have everyone visualize anyone who was holding a weapon, seeing them put them down, actually put the weapons down and walk away from them,
Wow.
actually come together in a place, like see them for who they truly are, which is, of course, as we know, light and love and consciousness, and let that shine through in a prevalent way than the ego. So
I love that. That's a beautiful vision.
yeah, Mom.
I know. Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to pick one more question, and this is they're all very good questions. But the next question we have is from Jade. Jade, I hope that you're still here. And Jade is asking, how do I create energetic boundaries and not pick up other people's anxieties, fears, etc.? I love this question. All good questions.
They're all great questions. I love this question. Okay, so I'm going to flip this question on its head. Probably I'll answer it different from most other people. People accuse me of being a bit of a rebel, but I'm going to say that there's a problem in the question itself, but a lot of people ask it. It's not about you, the asker of the question, but a lot of people ask this question. So the problem is in believing that you need to protect yourself from other people's energies. So the focus becomes, they have an energy, a toxic energy, I don't want any part of it, so I have to protect myself from it. I want you to flip it and think in terms of, how do I expand my energy so that my energy uplifts other people so they entrain to me? Because from the previous question, how do I block other people's energy? There is an assumption that their energy is going to bring me down. There is an assumption I am so weak that I am going to entrain to an energy I don't want to a darker, more toxic or whatever energy. No, let's flip it and let's say, I am going to actually, instead of focusing on boundaries or blocking our energy, I am going to shift my focus to how do I expand my energy? How do I raise my vibe? And work on that, on expanding your energy, creating a marinade, hanging out with people who are your tribe, and finding things to do that bring you joy. Listen to music, go out in nature. So your focus, instead of becoming a boundary, your focus becomes expanding your energy. And then other people they're like, I want what she has. I wonder what she's drinking. And so they all start to align to you, and you become surrounded by high vibe people because they've aligned to you. In order to hang out with you, they have to raise their vibe to your level.
Oh, can we get like an amen for that one? There's so much wisdom happening here. I can tell you've been teaching for days, because it's like just coming trippingly off the tongue. It's just like downloading. You're just channeling all this amazing. An amen. Thank you, Joyce. Yes, Rachel Elizabeth, an amen. A hands up. That was so beautifully stated. That was perfect. For instead of us protecting our energy from out there, we are the energy.
Yeah.
Watch out, right?
We are the energy that we're creating. We are, and we always look outward. And I used an analogy earlier today because I did a video earlier as well, and where somebody was asking me a question, and then this came to me that a lot of times what we do instinctively do, it's almost like looking in the mirror and not liking what you see, and then trying to change the mirror, like going there and painting out parts of yourself that you don't like, instead of realizing, wait a minute, it's in here. I just got to change myself and I'll see something different there.
Yes. Oh, that was so good, you guys. Okay, this is as perfect time as any to close out the conversation. But wait,
there's more.
There's more. I forgot to announce our free, that's the key word, guys, free. We have a free online event coming up on Saturday, and I am going to post it along with the retreat that we are doing. If you want more of this conversation and you want to meet the other participants of that retreat, then sign up for this. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's a webinar. That's right. So I just put the link in the chat. It's openhearts.celebrateyourlife.com/webinar. So Greg and Anita and Bruce and Shamini are all doing a free online event together, the four of them, this Saturday. Yes, Greg Braden will be there. So go to that link and go ahead and just reserve your space. We already have about 8,500 people signed up.
Wow, that's great.
Right? We have
Yeah.
8,500 people signed up. And I'm going to tell you a little secret that we don't have on the website. If you cannot make it in person, we will send you the recording. But you do need to sign up for that webinar. So go to that URL that I posted. I think you all have it. I'll say it. It's no www, just type in open hearts, that's plural, open hearts dot celebrateyourlife.com/webinar. Sign up for it. If you can't make it in person, we'll send it to you. There it is. Thank you, Tanya. It's up on the screen. So go sign up. And so Netta, I think it's Netta or Nita, says, thank you for picking her question. And thank you, Anita. I felt that you were talking straight to me. It was so helpful. She was.
Oh, I was. I feel for you being right there.
Yes, we'll be sending the video. That's what I'm saying, Leah. We will be sending the video. We're recording it, and we will be sending out the video of it. So the recording. Yes, I just didn't post that on the website. Forgot to. All right, everyone. Anita, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for organizing this and the event in January, and for all the beautiful work that you do and the beautiful events you create. I just love your events.
I like throwing parties.
Yes, that's what they feel like, parties. Yes.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Mwah. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
And stay right there, Anita.